can be fit. Clear!
Teddy! Here. Teddy! Clear! Teddy, stay with me.
It doesn't mean you live up to it.
Clear!
No one does a season finale quite like Grey's Anatomy. Just when you think you've seen it all, the show pulls the rug out from under you with jaw-dropping twists, tragic losses, and cliffhangers that leave you reeling.
Hi, I'm Addison Shepherd.
Shepherd?
And you must be the woman who's been screwing my husband.
From plane crashes and hospital shootings to emotional goodbyes and shocking betrayals, these finales aren't just endings, they're full-blown emotional roller coasters. Over the years, Grey's has mastered the art of leaving us stunned, sobbing, or screaming at our TVs. Welcome back to Cinemaclips. Today, we're counting down the 8 most shocking Grey's Anatomy finales, the ones that made our jaws drop, our eyes tear up, and our group chats explode. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Grey's Anatomy chaos, love, and drama. Starting at number 8, we have Who's Zoomin' Who.
Long day.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there is a steak with your name on it, and maybe a bottle of wine.
This is why I keep you around.
So we need to talk.
Wine first, talk later.
This finale might not be as dramatic as the ones that came later. No one gets hit by a bus or caught in a shooting. But for Meredith Grey, it was a huge emotional blow. Just as things seemed perfect with Derek, she found out he had a wife. From the very first episode, the show made their relationship feel like a fairy tale, but that dream shattered with the arrival of Dr. Addison Montgomery Shepherd, Derek's beautiful, successful wife from New York.
Meredith, I'm so sorry.
The problem with secrets is, even when you think you're in control,
Addison,
you're not.
what are you doing here?
Well, you'd know if you bothered to return any one of my phone calls. Hi, I'm Addison Shepherd.
Shepherd?
And you must be the woman who's been screwing my husband.
For Meredith, who had already fallen hard, it was a heartbreaking twist. But Meredith had grown emotionally distant, still grieving her mother's death and reeling from the trauma of the season. Themes. And at number 6, we have Losing My Religion.
Izzy, that's not Denny.
Shut up.
It is. It's not Denny. The minute his heart stopped beating, he stopped being Denny. Now I know you love him, but he also loved you. And a guy that loves you like that, he doesn't want you to do this to yourself. Because it's not Denny. Not anymore.
The season 2 finale had both shocking and heartwarming events. Preston Burke's surgery went without any significant hitch. However, Izzy Stevens got her heart broken when Denny Duquette died suddenly and quietly, presumably due to a blood clot. This was the handsome patient she had fallen for and gone as far as to risk her entire career for, cutting his LVAD wire and even practically stealing a heart from another patient who was above Denny on the transplant list. The sight of a devastated Izzy clinging to Denny's body while preparations for prom night were underway in the hospital was sobering indeed.
Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that the most ridiculous piece of crap you've ever heard?
In this case, a superstorm, bringing in its wake major trauma. The episode sees Meredith. Coming off at number 4, we have Ring of Fire.
You changed my life, Dr. Weber. You taught me how. You taught me how to take my past and find my path. Thank you. Thank you. I think I found it.
Which means?
which means I quit.
This episode was written as a farewell to Stephanie Edwards. The hospital admitted what they believed was a couple with injuries incurred in a trauma, but it turned out that the woman was actually being raped. The hospital went under lockdown, but Stephanie Edwards got stuck all alone on a floor with the rapist and a little girl belonging to another patient. Rot, even though it ended on a good note. At number 3, we have Now or Never.
Get out of the way. Pansy-ass idiot. Get him out of here. Suction. Clamp.
It's 007.
007, yep.
A total 007.
What's 007 mean?
License to kill.
In what probably stands as one of the most heart-wrenching episodes in television history, the goofy, adorable George O'Malley died tragically after jumping in front of a bus to save a woman he didn't even know.
He saved my life. The bus was gonna hit me. He threw me out of the way.
Gray, get her out of here.
It was supposed to be me under the bus. He's all alone. They don't even know who he is. Please, stand over there and just don't move.
A John Doe came in with massive injuries, and the doctors at Seattle Grace were humbled by his act of heroism. They did their best to try and save him, as they would for every patient, but his injuries were too severe and there was little hope for survival. At this time, before his final surgery, the patient very painfully managed to communicate to Meredith the term 007, which had been George's nickname in the hospital for a good while.
007.
It's George! It's George! It's George! John Doe is George!
The revelation that George had been so disfigured that even his closest friends could not recognize him was shocking, to say the least. And at number 2, we have Death and All His Friends.
Sir, you can't leave this area. The hospital is in...
This episode was a heart-stopping episode, a continuation of the penultimate episode, where Gary Clark, the grieving husband of a dead patient, shows up in the hospital with a gun, with the express purpose of shooting Derek Shepard, then chief of surgery, whom he held accountable for his wife's death.
You hurt me when you decided to kill my wife.
By the end of the penultimate episode, Derek has been shot, and Meredith and Christina have witnessed the shooting. In the finale, one of the climactic moments comes when Christina is forced to operate on a dying Derek, and the shooter appears brandishing his gun and ordering her to stop the surgery so that Derek would die.
Stop fixing him. Let him die. Let him lie there and die. Do you want me to shoot you? Stop fixing him!
Meredith appears too, trying to divert his attention, and then Owen pounces on him, getting shot in the process. On another floor, Miranda Bailey and one of her patients are dragging Dr. Charles Percy towards the elevator to get to an OR on time, but is unable to do so as none of the elevators are working. As far as the shock and thrill factors go, this episode definitely ranks very high. Finally, at number 1, we have Flight.
You are the doctors. The 7 years you spend here as a surgical resident will be the best and worst of your life. You will be pushed to the breaking point. 8 of you will switch to an easier specialty. 5 of you will crack under the pressure. 2 of you will be asked to leave. This is your starting line. This is your arena. How well you play, that's up to you.
Topping the list of shocking finales is the season 8 finale. A bunch of doctors from Seattle Grace boarded a plane to Boise, where they were supposed to perform a surgery, and the plane crashed in the middle of nowhere. Soon after the crash, Lexi Gray, Meredith's young sister, died tragically, and her death was followed by a heartbroken Mark Sloan going into cardiac tamponade, which had to be taken care of by Christina in the midst of the forest.
Mark.
Not only that, Derek's million-dollar hand was severely damaged. Arizona's leg, as it turned out later, was beyond repair, and the pilot couldn't move from the waist down. The group was naturally in shock, but had to survive and look out for each other until help arrived. This episode left the audience shocked into silence, long after it ended, with Arizona Robin's helpless screams continuing to ring in viewers' ears. Grey's Anatomy has never been afraid to leave us speechless, whether it's a sudden death, a tragic breakup, or a hospital explosion. These finales didn't just close a season, they redefined the show and kept us coming back for more. Which Grey's finale left you the most shocked? Did your favorite make the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're dying to hear what you think. And if you love all the twists, turns, and heartbreak Grey's throws our way, don't forget to like and subscribe to Cinemaclips for more deep dives into the world of Grey's Anatomy. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.